10 cool cars from the 1980s. The 1980s, big hair, bold fashion, and even bolder cars. This was the decade when automotive design got wild, and performance took a whole new turn. From turbocharged legends to quirky cult classics, the 80s gave us some of the coolest cars ever built. Let's jump in and check out 10 of the coolest cars from the 1980s. Spoiler alert, there's a lot of pop culture in this garage. 1. DeLorean DMC12, 1981 to 1983. The stainless steel body, the gull-wing doors, the time machine. Thanks to Back to the Future, the DeLorean became an icon. It wasn't the fastest car of its time, but it looked like it came from another planet. Powered by a 2.85-liter V6, it had style for days, even if performance was modest. It was only produced for a few years, but its legacy is timeless. Today, the DMC-12 is a cult favorite among collectors and movie buffs. Its futuristic design still turns heads. And come on, who doesn't want to hit 88 miles per hour in this thing? The DeLorean is pure 1980s energy in car form. One of the coolest cars ever. Period. 2. Ferrari Testarossa, 1984 to 1991. Wide, low, and aggressive, the Testarossa is the ultimate 1980s dream car. It had side strakes so dramatic they became its signature. Powered by a flat 12 engine, it delivered both sound and speed. It could hit 180 miles per hour. Not bad for a car that looks like a wedge of art. The Testarossa was a star in Miami Vice, symbolizing wealth, style, and speed. Ferrari made sure it turned heads and broke necks. It was as fast as it was flashy. Still today, it's one of the most recognizable Ferraris ever. It defined 1980s exotic car cool. Owning one was a status symbol, and still is. 3. Buick GNX, 1987. From Grandma's car company came a blacked-out street monster. The Buick GNX was based on the Regal, but packed a turbocharged 3.8-liter V6. It produced 276 horsepower, but everyone knew it was underrated. It could destroy Corvettes in a straight line. 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. In 1987. Only 547 were made, making it a rare collector's gem. It looked like a villain's car, and it drove like one. This was the car that shocked muscle car fans. It was a sleeper and a beast. The GNX was pure 80s performance in disguise. 4. Ford Mustang GT, Fox Body, 1979 to 1993. The Fox Body Mustang became a street legend in the 80s. It brought back the V8-powered fun of the classic muscle era. Lightweight, rear-wheel drive, and easy to modify, it was a tuner's dream. The GT version had aggressive styling and 5.0-liter power under the hood. You could find one at every drag strip, car meet, and high school parking lot. It was affordable performance for the people. The Fox Body became an icon for DIY speed lovers. It wasn't fancy, but it was fast and fun. Today, it has a massive fan base and cult following. The 80s Mustang GT was raw American attitude on wheels. 5. Toyota MR2, 1984 to 1989. Small, light, and mid-engined, the MR2 was Japan's answer to the Porsche. It looked like a wedge and drove like a go-kart. With razor-sharp handling and rev-happy engines, it was a blast to drive. The first-gen 811 MR2 had just enough power to keep things interesting. Plus, it was reliable, because it was a Toyota. It even came with a supercharged version later on. Affordable, sporty, and futuristic. It was the perfect 1980s sports car. The MR2 proved you didn't need big horsepower to have fun. It's still loved by enthusiasts today. The MR2 was a pure driver's car with 1980s flair. 6. Lamborghini Countach LP 5000 QV, 1985 to 1988. If you grew up in the 80s, chances are the Countach was on your wall. This was Lamborghini at its most outrageous: wide body, sharp lines, and scissor doors. The LP 5000 QV model had a massive 5.2-liter V12, producing up to 455 horsepower. It sounded like thunder and looked like something Batman would drive. With a top speed of over 180 miles per hour, it was brutally fast for its time. Visibility? Terrible. Practicality? None. Cool factor? Off the charts. Driving it was like piloting a spacecraft on wheels. It was pure drama, pure noise, pure 1980s. Even today, the Countach is one of the most iconic supercars ever built. 7. Chevrolet Camaro IROCAD, 1985 to 1990. Named after the International Race of Champions, the IROCZ was peak 80s muscle. With a low stance, ground effects, and T-tops, it looked fast even when parked. Under the hood was a 5.0-liter V8 that could be tuned for serious street performance. It wasn't the fastest car on the market, but it had serious swagger. This was the go-to ride for anyone who wanted to look cool in high school. The IROC was featured in TV shows, movies, and countless street races. It handled better than previous Camaros thanks to a sportier suspension. Today, it's a nostalgic gem and a favorite of retro car lovers. Affordable, aggressive, and totally rad, the IROCZ is 1980s muscle at its finest. 8. Range Rover Classic, U.S. launch, 1987. While not a hot rod, the original Range Rover defined luxury off-roading in the 80s. It combined British elegance with rugged off-road capability. When it hit the U.S. market in 1987, it was instantly seen as a status symbol. The design was boxy but beautiful, timeless and functional. Inside, it had leather, wood, and comfort you'd never expect from an SUV back then. It wasn't fast, but it could climb anything and look good doing it. Celebrities and adventurers alike fell in love with it. It paved the way for today's luxury SUV craze. The Range Rover Classic was the original off-road for the rich machine. In the 80s, nothing said class like rolling in a Range Rover. 9th. Pontiac Firebird Transm, 3rd generation, 1982 to 1992. The 3rd generation Transm was all about attitude and performance. Made famous by the Knight Rider TV series and KTTT, it became a pop culture legend. The sleek, aerodynamic styling screamed 1980s future tech. Under the hood, it packed V8 power and a ton of potential for mods. The WS6 performance package made it a true canyon carver. It was the cool cousin to the Camaro, flashier and more high-tech. Pop-up headlights, digital dashes, and T-tops made it feel like a spaceship. This was the car every teenager wanted in 1984. Even today, the Transm is loved by fans of retro performance. It was one of the last great American muscle icons of the era. 10. Pujo 205 GTI, 1984 to 1994. Across the Atlantic, the Pujo 205 GTI was the king of the hot hatches. With its lightweight chassis and snappy handling, it was a joy to drive. The 1.6-liter and later 1.9-liter engine delivered just the right amount of power. It was nimble, quick, and perfectly balanced, like a French Miata before the Miata existed. In Europe, it earned legendary status on twisty roads and rally stages. The design was clean, sporty, and unmistakably 80s. It was the car that made driving fun affordable. Even Jeremy Clarkson called it one of the best-handling front-wheel drive cars ever. Though never officially sold in the U.S., it became a global cult classic. The 205 GTI is a symbol of 1980s Euro performance. From time machines to turbo beasts, the 1980s gave us cars that were bold, brash, and unforgettable. Whether you loved muscle, exotic, or Euro-hot hatches, this decade had it all. Which one was your favorite? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more car culture deep dives.